Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, and welcome to the Workouts for Older Men podcast. I am Skip LaCour, and I'm so glad you're joining me for this Workouts for Older Men podcast. This week, I want to talk about how often you should weigh yourself. Heck, should you weigh yourself at all when you're trying to get fit and healthy now that you're a little bit older? I want to talk about all the different perspectives, all the pros and cons of weighing yourself. I want to talk about that and how you can go on a 12-week fitness transformation journey with me one-on-one. I want to talk about that and a whole lot more in this week's podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Workouts for Older Men podcast. I am Skip LaCour. I'm so glad you're joining me here today for this week's Workouts for Older Men podcast. In this podcast, I want to talk about how often you should weigh yourself, or even should you weigh yourself when you are trying to lose weight, trying to lose body fat, get a better body now that you're a little bit older. All right, I want to talk about that and a lot more. So glad you're here. Hey, make sure you're on all of my social media platforms. Each platform has a different and unique way of presenting this information, and they all work well for you. I know you're probably a podcast guy. I'm a podcast guy, taking this information here, but a lot of times the visuals, when it comes to working out, I've got some of those for you on Facebook, at Skip LaCour page, on TikTok, at Skip LaCour, Instagram, Skip LaCour, YouTube, Skip LaCour, a lot of visuals, and also go to my skiplacour.com website often. All right, I'm posting videos there all the time, and that'll be a great addition to you joining me for this weekly podcast. So I posted on my Facebook page, actually, this week. I just asked the question, how often do you weigh yourself? All right, and I doing this for so long, I know all of the different scenarios, if a person weighs themselves or not, how often they weigh themselves, and all the pros and cons that go with it. So I'm going to talk about all of those today and help you come up with what's best for you, and I'll tell you what I think is best for you. All right, so the first question would be, do you even weigh yourself, right? There's one school of thought that you should never weigh yourself, right? It's too confusing. It's not real weight. Could depend on things like water and the day and the time of day. It's just too confusing. So just stay off the scale, right? Look in the mirror. What you visually look like, that should be good enough, right? And just make sure you're working out the way you should, and make sure that you're eating the way you should, and what you see in the mirror is that's what you should weigh. That's good advice. I can see that. I can also see the downside of not doing that too, right? So let's talk about that. Anything in life that you measure can be improved upon. Anything, and that works for anything on the job, your finances, really anything. I just think of my kids and how I work with them with sports, and I created a system, and knowing that I went 7 days out of 7 or 4 days out of 7, it helps me understand the standards, whatever I'm looking for. So anything in life that you measure can be improved upon. All right, so that's number one. And I'll tell you something with weight, and maybe you've noticed this too, is that you can't necessarily see subtle changes if you're slowly gaining weight. All right, and it sneaks up on you. And if you do get on the scale, you'll see, wow, I'm 5 pounds up, I'm 10 pounds up. Where did that come from? I knew I kind of felt a little heavier. I knew I wasn't looking quite as good as I wanted to, but I never would have thought it was 10 pounds. And then, you get to work. All right, that would never happen if you were getting on the scale on a continual basis. All right, so I definitely think you should weigh yourself, but you need to understand all the different things that factor into weighing yourself. All right, so that's not weighing yourself at all, the pros and cons to that. Well, let's talk about what do you need to know about weight. Well, you probably know that you're usually at your lowest weight first thing in the morning, and you will weigh more at night. All right? And that has nothing to do with a bad day of training or a bad day of eating. All right? Our weight will fluctuate. Our muscles have glycogen from the food that we're eating and the carbohydrates take on fluid. And I think we know that we'll weigh more at night than we will in the morning. But is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? What does that mean? I don't think that we'll look at the fluctuation and really in that very, very short term think that we may be doing something wrong and need to change it the next day. Right? But if you don't realize that, a lot of guys weigh themselves at noon, and they may not even realize that weight first thing in the morning might be more complimentary if they're trying to lose weight. I guess there are some men, not a whole lot of men, that they want to gain weight muscle. So if they weigh themselves, at night, they'd be more complimentary. I guess there are some men like that. Definitely the young, passionate guys working out in the gym may want to gain weight, and they may think that's muscle or more weight on the scale would make them believe that, and that would go along to what they're doing, right? So we know we wouldn't change our workout, we wouldn't change our diet after one day with that fluctuation from morning to night. But what about the fluctuations during the week? Right? See, that's what I do with my one-on-one coaching, the men who I coach. All right? As we go through a journey, I have them immerse themselves in a 12-week journey, because what I promise you, by the end of the 12 weeks that we spend together, we meet on the phone every week. I have you immerse yourself in the process. We meet on the phone for 1 hour for 12 weeks, same day, same time. The calls are recorded. You fill out a form. What do you want to get out of this session? With your level of understanding of fitness, all the questions that you have, what's stopping you? What are you confused about, right? It asks you a series of questions so you get the most out of every session. The next day after our session, I ask some very skilled questions from my time in coaching. So what you pulled away from it. So it's totally immersion for 12 weeks, because what I promise is you'll know what you need to know. Training, nutrition, mindset, lifestyle, motivation, systems that are best for you and your lifestyle, your priorities in life, right? No questions. You'll have the answers, and then it's just a matter of putting your head down and working hard. You'll know what to expect. 12 weeks, and then when you push yourself for 12 weeks, because sometimes we need knowledge, but sometimes at a certain point we don't need any more knowledge. We just need the actual practical application of what we're doing. And then we'll go, oh, okay, I see that, I feel that. Now I have these questions and these questions. That's why, immerse yourself in this one-on-one coaching journey with me for 12 weeks. All right, if you're interested in that, reach out to me. I'll tell you my phone number. You can text me right now, or you can go to my skiplecore.com website, look under the tabs under the 12-week transformation journeys. All right, but just reach out to me. My number is 925-352-4366. Say that once again, 925-352-4366. And if you're driving, listening to this podcast, I'll make sure I say it when we sign off. All right. Now, will you have to weigh yourself every morning and every night once you understand how this all works? And then it's just a matter of, you have that certainty and confidence. It's just a matter of doing what you know with the training and the eating. Will you have to do this every single day, morning and night, 3 years from now? No, you won't. But I put you in that situation when you're most committed, when we go through the journey, you have accountability. I want you to overdo it for a while so you feel it in your body, and then you'll know how this whole weight thing works for the rest of your life. All right? Then you'll need to, if you want to do it every day or every other day, but you'll know how it works. Right? The problem, it isn't weighing yourself. It's what does it really mean when you have those weight fluctuations, and how much uncertainty is that going to cause when you think, I'm losing all my muscle. Is that true? Or, I got to do a different training program because I should be losing weight. Is that true? Right? If you don't know how to read the scale, how the body really works, whether you're training very consistently and training hard, whether you're watching your diet really hard or a combination of the two, right? How does that really affect the weight on the scale? Right? We all hear about diets like keto diets, with no glycogen, no carbohydrates, and the muscle very, very low calories. Your body, it's 35%, of your body is muscles, and 70% is the fluid in those muscles. And if it's like a dried out raisin rather than a plump grape, you're going to weigh less, right? But that's how you got to weigh less. That's why that diet worked on that scale. But again, you don't know how to read the scale. And again, getting back to the people who never read the scale, that's what you tell a person who's really, really obese. Maybe they haven't dieted very long, just very novice. I mean, most people keep them off the scales for those reasons. Don't want them too focused on it. All right, so once you understand all this through immersion, through 12 weeks, you won't have to do it anymore. Let's talk about and this seems like a good plan, those who weigh themselves once a week. That seems like a good plan, right? You wouldn't get too obsessed with your weight, wouldn't be thinking about it too much and watching it go through its fluctuations, not knowing how it goes, right? So once a week. Well, here's the challenge with that. If you were to weigh yourself every morning, maybe you've experienced this, even when you're doing everything right, you're eating the way you should, everything you're doing it just the way you should, you look good, right? You'll notice even first thing in the morning, your weight will fluctuate. It could be 1-2 pounds different than it was the day before when you're doing everything right. And it's not necessarily, because you have a bowel movement that hasn't passed or anything like that. All right, so if you were to go on an ambitious workout program, eating program, and sacrificing, and you did it every Saturday, let's say every Saturday morning at 8 a.m., all right, and then, you work really hard for a week, and just say one Saturday, your weight's the same as it was the Saturday before. And you're going, well, I feel better. I'm working out consistently. I should be patient, right? And so you keep on going with your training program. You don't let that discourage you, think you need to cut your calories even more or work out harder or more cardio, right? Then you go into week 2 on that Saturday. And it could be a pound up from when you started. And you go, well, okay, I was patient during week 1, but now this Saturday I'm 1 pound up. 2 weeks of watching my diet and 2 weeks of my workout plan, I'm 1 pound up. Oh, there's something going wrong here. And then that's what we'll call the uncertainty. And you might feel as though you want to change your workout plan or change your diet or, who knows, give up because it isn't working. A lot of men, it's not that it's not working. They just don't know how it works, and they don't know how this weight works. All right, so those are some things to consider. I would just say to weigh yourself once every morning and monitor it. Go through a period of time so you understand these things that I say. But you do want to monitor because, I'm just, I get into a habit because I can really tell from my body doing this for 32 years, knowing how it works. And I know exactly what I need to do with the training and the eating and the cardio. I don't overinflate how I'll benefit. I'm not impatient. So doing this for so long. So I'll go through periods of time where, I know I'm not as strict with my diet. So I know what the weight probably is, but I go through periods of time. And there'll be times where I'll get in there and go, oh, man, I'm 10 pounds up. So I'm 5'11", and let's just say 215 pounds. All right. And it could all feel the same. You can even think it looks the same, but you're 10 pounds up. I just, this morning, I said, all right, so I'm going to be turning 60 here in a few months, and I'm trying to gear up with, some really a tough journey, really challenge myself. And so, I got on a scale after a while, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was 216 pounds. That's what I should be. All right. But I didn't monitor it. I'm just, I guess, kind of lucky. So those are the things that you need to keep in mind. It's all part of a journey. It's all part of measuring your progress, like your clothes, how you feel, how you look, taking pictures. Those are all different ways to measure your progress. All right, so those are some things to think about. If you want some one-on-one attention, I'll tie this all together for you. Like I said, I know that you're hardworking and you've been working at the job, successful in your career, raising a family, and you didn't prioritize fitness. That's a lot of smart men come to me, and they just want to get this down now. They don't want to wait until they're 65, 70 to go through a learning curve. If that sounds like you, reach out to me. All right, got some coaching package for you. Either it's information or take you through one of these full immersion journeys, which I highly recommend if your fitness is important to you, whether you just want to look better now that you have the time or you must get on top of your fitness because of health reasons. Whatever the reasons are, I can help you. If you want that type of service, reach out to me. You can email me at skip@skiplacour.com. I'm going to tell you my phone number. Just text me. We'll set up a call. Got a whole process for you. And that's 925-352-4366. 925-352-4366. So that's going to do it for this week's Workouts for Older Men podcast. Hey, let's live with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day.